Hi everyone. We are going to finish up this piece that we started together. And we created form by using line. And now what we're going to do is I want you to create a wet on wet technique on the background. So we've done this before, I believe. If you don't remember, I'm going to kind of show you what we do. Wet on wet is just one of the really nice techniques that you can do with watercolor. And what you do is you first apply water to the entire background, and then you put paint on top of that. And so the thing that I'm looking for when you guys paint is to see that you can have the colors blend together and move and dance like watercolor should. So if we didn't want it to move and we wanted more control over our piece, what we would probably use is acrylic paint. But with watercolor, the beauty behind it is that it doesn't really listen all the time. So, and this is just one technique that kind of pushes it to move on its own even more. So I've wet the entire sky, and so I've already kind of mixed some colors over here. And what I want to see you do is I want to see you play with the watercolor and let it kind of move and blend with the colors that you create. Now what's cool is since we've already wet our paper, the watercolor kind of just moves on its own, right? Now, when I'm putting the watercolor on, I'm not going over the area over and over and over again. I love what's happening and how the watercolor is kind of moving on its own. So I let the paint touch the paper and then I kind of leave it alone. So for me, I have 3 colors that I mixed. You guys can do as many as you want. You have to have at least 2 because I want to see that you can let these colors blend and move together. And it's kind of like we're creating this beautiful sky. Could be a sunset, could be early morning. It's kind of whatever you guys want. But again, I'm letting the colors blend together and I'm letting them move. I think on the top I'm going to add an even brighter color. So this is a really simple but beautiful technique. This is called wet on wet. So we've wet our paper and then we're putting wet watercolor. So I'm not using the watercolor from the palette. I've mixed my watercolor with water and I'm applying it that way. You know, just letting the watercolor kind of move and do its thing. And that's it. So all I want to see you do is this wet on wet technique in the sky. What if you want to continue and paint the mountains and and the land in front, go right ahead. I think it's going to be really fun to see how different all of our pieces are. I just want to know that you can do this technique at home. So, and what I was trying to show you is I did not use my paint straight from here and put it onto my paper. I put water here first, got my paint, put it in there, and then I applied that to my wet paper. So you never want your paint to be so dry or not have enough water, because then it can't do all these really beautiful things like you see here. So good luck. I can't wait to see what you make, and I will see you this week. Bye.